Starting today, one of Spokane's biggest healthcare providers is pausing all elective surgeries due to a surge in COVID cases taking over our local hospitals. Thanks for joining us on Up with KREM. I'm Channing Curtis. Now take a look at this tweet by Providence. They announced the pause, which goes into effect today. It affects Sacred Heart Medical Center and Holy Family Hospital. This also includes non-emergency outpatient surgeries and procedures in the doctor's building. The healthcare provider says they don't know how long this pause will be. Now, the hospital system says they're seeing a surge in patients from both Eastern Washington and even Idaho. So we spoke with a Medical Lake veteran who was supposed to undergo 3 surgeries to have his colon removed at Holy Family. He says his medicine is not helping with his condition, and now he'll have to wait until at least October for treatment.
It's almost like a gut punch. This is drastically affecting my life. I'm pretty well stuck just in town due to having to be so close to a bathroom all the time.
Right now, he's taking medicine that makes him immunocompromised. His family is fully vaccinated, but he says they're all worried that he will get COVID before he can have the surgery. Now, until he can undergo these procedures that he needs, he says his life and family is on hold.
My wife's having to do all the stuff I would normally do, grocery runs, just little outs. We've got 3 kids, so she's got to worry about busing them everywhere too. So it feels like we're all kind of walking on eggshells because we don't know what's going to happen.
Providence is not the only healthcare provider pausing non-emergency surgeries. Right now, Multicare also has a pause on some elective surgeries due to the increase in COVID cases. Now, across the state line, Kootenai health officials also paused some elective surgeries. In addition, some more necessary procedures are postponed since the state entered into crisis standards of care. Doctors say resources are being stretched to their limits. Now, while COVID-19 vaccines are a huge topic of discussion right now, our local health experts are also concerned about other immunizations as well. Nicole Hernandez is joining us live now in studio to break down why we're seeing less children getting their standard immunizations. Good morning, Nicole.
Yeah, good morning, Channing. So putting the COVID vaccine aside for a minute, the Washington State Department of Health is worried about children getting their general immunizations right now. So we're going to take a look at data from the Department of Health right here. You can see this is what they've posted recently. So right here we have data specifically breaking it down by vaccine, each individual vaccine there. You can see this is broken down by state depending on what county you live in, how many people are getting their vaccines. And then this right here is what we're going to take a closer look at. This is the graph here that goes by year, so 2015 to 2020. This is what the graph should look like. This graph is specifically for babies and toddlers from 2015 to 2020. You can see that's a very steady line. Very straight. That means the same amount of people that were vaccinating their babies and toddlers in 2015 are vaccinating their babies and toddlers in 2020. This is what the Department of Health likes to see. But if we move on to the next graph, you can see this is for 11 to 12-year-old general immunizations. In 2015, that number was higher for all of the vaccinations than in 2020. The line was pretty steady for a while, but here during the pandemic, you can see that dip down. And that right there is showing that less adolescents, less 11 to 12-year-olds are getting their vaccines now than they were over the past few years. And the Department of Health says it's very important that we get that line to go higher up again.
That is concerning and really puts our state at risk of outbreaks of other diseases, and why we're just kind of letting parents know that now is the time to make sure they're caught up on their routine childhood immunizations.
Now, the Department of Health says those 11 to 12-year-old adolescents are the biggest worry right now. They think people just stopped going to the doctor as much for regular checkups when the pandemic hit. Now that we're a year and a half through, though, the Department of Health says it is definitely safe enough to go to your doctor regularly. The Department of Health says making sure kids are up to date on their shots will help keep everyone healthy and our schools running smoothly. The good news is we saw the number of kids getting their shots dip to its lowest mid-2020, and recently we've actually been seeing that number on the rise again, but we still have some work to do and some time to put in to make that go back to the average. In studio, I'm Nicole Hernandez.
Now, while both Idaho and Washington are reporting high hospitalizations due to COVID-19, the vaccination rate is vastly different in the 2 states. Washington is among a handful of states that has over 60% of its population fully vaccinated. In Spokane County alone, the health district says that 54% of residents are fully vaccinated. Now, Idaho is on the opposite side of the spectrum. They are among a handful of states, that have less than 44% of its population fully vaccinated. At least 39% of Kootenai County residents are also fully vaccinated. Now, this week we could be one step closer to COVID booster shots. An FDA committee will hold a meeting Friday to discuss Pfizer's application for a third dose. Members will review the data and discuss who should get the shots and when. Right now, Pfizer's booster shots are only authorized for people with weakened immune systems. All right, the time is now 6:03. Let's get a look outside. Jeremy Legoo is in the Outdoor Weather Center. Oh man, I am ready for the sun to come up, maybe some nice cool weather. I'm ready for it to feel like fall, Jeremy. It's September. I'm ready for it.
All right, well then tomorrow it is. I think even later on this afternoon, it's gonna have one of those kind of breezy fall day vibes. It's just going, oh, shout out to the guy who used to say vibes all the time. Miss him. All right, early on this morning, 56 degrees outside, wind out of the southwest at about 14 miles per hour. Expect wind to pick up throughout the day. We're starting out pretty mild because of some of that wind. 56 in Spokane, 57 in Coeur d'Alene. We're at 46 in Sandpoint and up near 60 in Moses Lake. But wind is expected to pick up here this morning and stay strong through much of the day. Right now, it's near 15. By this afternoon, we'll see gusts up near 25 miles per hour. It's enough to kind of bend some of those trees around the region, and that's what's going to usher in a much cooler air mass. But for now, I think it's going to be another mostly sunny to partly cloudy day today, very similar to what we've been seeing. But look at what happens. Because of the wind, well, temperatures trend a bit cooler. We top out in the low 70s or near 70 later on this afternoon. And that allows temps to drop overnight once wind calms down. We have a freeze watch in place in northeastern Washington, North Idaho, and northwestern Montana.
Time is now 6:05. Time for your morning rush. More news in less time. A Washington family says the drowning of their 10-year-old daughter was no accident. The girl died in a man-made lake in Quincy back in July, according to newly filed court documents. Now, the family says a winery and others are liable for Danica Ross's death. In the lawsuit, Danica's family alleges she was swimming with friends and family on the Cave B Estate Winery property lake. According to the suit, Danica drowned after being sucked into a pipe inside the lake. The pipe was neither graded nor compliant with state and federal law. The family is suing Cave B as well as the Water District for negligence. KREM 2 has been tracking several high-profile court cases in our area. Ivan Lopez Gutierrez, the man accused of shooting and killing a man outside of the Star Bar and restaurant near Gonzaga University in early August, pleaded not guilty yesterday. Gutierrez has been charged with second-degree murder with a bond of $1 million. Now this morning, we're talking about the newest Amazon facility in the Valley. It's called GEG2, and it's designed to ship larger products compared to the facility in Airway Heights. Now that our area has two facilities, well, what does this mean for delivery times? We spoke with the facility general manager, who says they have to build up inventory first, but that customers can expect even faster delivery times.
Ultimately, if we add a delivery station here, which are the stations that have the Amazon vans that do direct delivery, that really expedites to a point where we could have same-day shipping. For now, I would say it's just going to get faster.
The Spokane Valley location is currently hiring and will eventually employ 1,000 people. You can apply online or in person at the recruiting office. The man accused of fatally shooting local star athlete Jacoby Ford outside a downtown Spokane bar in August pleaded not guilty. Michael Lee is charged with second-degree murder in the case. Court documents show Lee had threatened the victim and that Lee had a child with a woman that Ford was dating. Lee's bond was set at $1 million. NBA legend and businessman Earvin Magic Johnson will be in Spokane today. He's speaking at the Association of Washington Businesses annual policy summit at the Davenport Grand. The hybrid in-person and virtual event features a full day of policy discussion and keynote speakers. This fall, tradition also includes panel discussions on everything from capital gains taxes to long-term care insurance. Well, that's your morning rush. More news in less time. Let us know what's happening in your neighborhood by using the hashtag #UpWithKREM on social media. Washington Attorney General Bob Ferguson feeling blindsided by the DOJ's latest attempt to scrap the law that helps sick Hanford workers.
There are judges of all persuasions who have looked at this case and reached one conclusion. The state of Washington is right, the federal government is wrong.
Why the AG says he's ready for a showdown with parts of the Biden administration.
And of course, we're going to take you outside, talk a big change in our weather pattern over the course of the next few days. Oh, you're going to want to stick around for this. Fall is on the way.